Welcome to the channel. It's me, Vandal. It's that time of the month again. This is my best clips from April 2025. This is a long one. Make sure you grab something to drink, something to eat, and let's get started.
Now is the first time we've been apart since high school, and I just
Emily.
I have never vaped in my life, I swear.
Nah.
Hey, may Zeus himself strike me down if I'm lying. Hey, didn't strike me though.
Scientists have found a perfectly preserved dinosaur embryo inside of a fossilized egg. Wow.
Sounds like the beginning of Jurassic Park, right?
Pope just died. Not the retired one. No, Francis, the last Pope. He's dead. And if you've never heard about the prophecy of the popes, you are about to. In the 1100s, St. Malachi wrote a list. One cryptic line for every pope until the end of time. He described them in order, and every single line matched freakishly for centuries. Second last pope, who retired in 2013, was Pope Benedict. Glory of the olive. He resigned in 2013, then came Francis. Francis wasn't numbered like the others. He was different. He was the final entry. Let me read this for you. In the final persecution of the Holy Roman Church, there shall sit Peter the Roman, who shall feed the flock through many tribulations, after which the city of 7 hills shall be destroyed, and the dreadful judge shall judge the people. Francis was Peter the Roman. The final shepherd, the Pope of Tribulation. Now, he's gone. He's dead. This wasn't just the death of a man. This was the closing of a chapter 900 years long. The church knows it, and the world is going to feel it very soon. If you're still waiting for a sign, I'd say this is it.
And people still think this is random. Nothing about this year is random. Why was this written over 900 years ago, and it's still hitting like a schedule? Ancient civilizations were more advanced and intelligent than what we were told. The real question is, why was the truth buried?
So we do consume each other's blood on occasion for ritual purposes only. It is used for a reason, and it is controlled where it's like, let's shed a few drops of blood and each drink it. He's much more haphazard and hectic and chaotic, where he's willing to just like cut his chest open with broken glass and be like, take my soul, let me bleed on you. It doesn't not happen, let me tell you. Maybe not exactly like that, but a version of that has happened many times.
This year weather has been off, engineered. The question isn't why. The question is who's behind it and who benefits from it.
I told you before. Are you kidding me right now?
I think that's one of the people who be stealing, they call them porch pirates, if that's the case. Well deserved.
Alright. Nice jump, dude. That was impressive. I gotta say, I saw you on the camera.
Porque María vivió eso una vez menos, ¿eh? Eso se lleva todo. Y ahí le una bronca, y yo, y ahí la Marisa se me perdieron porque estaba por fuera y no la encontraba.
Que los muchachos me estaban llamando a la escuela, que si no había peligro para acá, que la escuela todo el mundo asombrado.
Like we're seeing more and more weird weather every year.
NFL uses magnets in the bowls to rig games.
This is an actual black pyramid alien-built structure on this asteroid. Now, I got this from the Indian Space Research Organization, ISRO, and it was in 2014, and it got in the news and everything. I messaged the company, and they refused to answer me about it, but this is legit. Within a few days, they took this video down. You judge for yourself. Look at the pyramid. Look top and bottom. Is it real? Or is it your imagination?
South Korea's iconic temple, which is over 1,000 years old, has just been destroyed by one of the worst wildfires the region has seen in years. For perspective, that temple is more than 4 times the age of America. The country. South Korea declared a state of emergency after the wildfires have already burnt an area equivalent to 4,600 football fields. And 16 new wildfires broke out nationwide on Friday alone. 100 helicopters and 9,000 personnel are being deployed to battle the flames, while thousands are being evacuated and 4 have lost their lives. But of course, as the situation develops, I'll keep you guys updated.
Is this climate change or is this somebody controlling the weather? What do you think?
So I'm in this gas station, and I go to use the bathroom, and I notice there's a lock on the outside, right? So when you close the door, it locks you in. From the outside. You have no way of getting out. And it's not on the men's. Tell me that's not fucking weird. That's weird. That's weird. On the men's. Only on the women's. Not on the men's. Only on the women's. They're trying to steal women. Trying to get them.
Update for that is that the lock has been taken down. This was in Texas, I'm not mistaken. Regardless, that is extremely weird. Maybe that's how some people get they disappear, if you know what I'm trying to say. It seemed like this was in multiple locations or something. It's very interesting. You don't see this every day, but we are seeing more and more stuff in the sky.
Is it meant to be there? Yes. Recognize that? What? It's my space. That's the Milky Way.
No, it's not. What is that? Ooh.
Freaking me out. Like, I have so much anxiety. This weekend I'm actually gonna go stay at my parents' house, so they've been really nice enough to like let me stay there. And Freaking me out. Like, I have so much anxiety. This weekend I'm actually gonna go stay at my parents' house. So they've been really nice enough to like let me stay.
Showing content like this, I make videos like this several times out of the week. It'll be so cool if you hit the sub button and join me on my next video.
Imagine this. One of the world's most famous paintings, The Virgin and Child by Leonardo da Vinci, might contain a hidden message. Not just a religious scene, but something much bigger. Some researchers claim that Leonardo embedded the image of an extraterrestrial being within the shadows and shapes of the painting. A creature you can only see if you look very closely, or maybe one that was never meant to be seen at all. Because Leonardo wasn't just an artist, he was a visionary, a thinker, obsessed with the hidden and the mystical. Did he leave behind a secret that's only being uncovered now? And if so, what was he trying to tell us?
Have you guys
I think that's a bit of a stretch, personally. What do you think?
heard about how they scanned under the pyramids and they apparently found like coils underneath? I just found something that might be just as crazy, if not crazier than that. This is an 1863 Cassell Publishing House Bible, and I'm looking at the pictures and I'm like, is that 4 pyramids? You could easily miss this, but look, there's a 4th one behind it. So I just looked it up, and there are several explorers that were labeled crazy, unqualified, all of the typical stuff by fact checkers that wrote about and drew a 4th black pyramid in the exact same orientation as the Bible shows.
15 million DNA samples up for grabs, and no one is talking about it. 23andMe, the company that you literally mail your spit to, just filed for bankruptcy, and they're looking for a new owner to buy them out. This is the same company that gives you information about your ancestry, your health risks, and they say they'll use your DNA for research. But here's the creepy part. A company like this, their value is basically dependent on their genetic profile. They have 15 million of them. So the new owner, whoever it is going to have access to all of this. I always thought companies like this were sketchy, especially this one, because in October of 2023, they had a massive data leak. So a lot of the information and locations of people were leaked. And since that leak, they lost 95% of their market cap. Anyway, California Attorney General is urging everyone to go and delete their data, and you have the legal right to request your DNA sample to be destroyed. So just be safe out there.
Dang, so your DNA get leaked and your address, and a person, they just know everything about you. They could do anything with that DNA and address and everything. I see why the company lost 95% of this value after that. The scary part is which shadow company is going to pick that up, and who knows.
Attention valued guests. An emergency situation requires you to shelter in place for your safety. Please stay inside your hotel room or remain in a secure location. Do not exit the building or move to other areas. We will provide updates as more information becomes available.
They're going to deal with it, right?
Deadly rotting body parts with deadly diseases are being found in Arizona tea cans, being served globally, and the FDA will not do anything about this. People were terrified after a viral video showed one person drinking an Arizona tea can, and they started vomiting after tasting something spicy. And when they dumped the can out, what seemed to be the backside of an eyeball started to emerge. And this was not an isolated incident, as hundreds of haunting videos showed what appeared to be fleshy, mucousy things pulled out, with some being as large as the the palm of someone's hand, resembling several internal body parts. Experts report if you drink something with rotting flesh inside, you could develop as much as anthrax or a flesh-eating virus. Other theories that are more likely suggest Arizona tea cans, when sat there too long, the flavoring and tea leaves can separate, turning into this. And if this bothers you or tastes weird, just dump it out. What we are seeing as the mucus thing is just a mixture of the sugar and flavoring, and what appeared to be the front of the eyeball is just the can's tab and is not harmful.
I'm not believing that. Just don't drink it at all. My rule is if I can't see an outside of it, I gotta dump it out and see, or I just don't drink it.
Someone had asked AI, what does the universe truly look like? And they wanted a picture. And this is what they gave them. Now hold on real quick. I zoomed in on this. Now I want y'all to peep this. This is like a different realm right here, right? And then you have a realm right here. Peep this though. This is supposed to be all of the different like star systems or whatever. But you know what I noticed in this, y'all? How there's boundaries and how there's a flat plane right there. You can see that, right? Now you know they be trying to tell us, bro. That's what AI is meant to do. Artificial intelligence. They're telling us that there are beings on the outside of this skirt that's looking inside, bro. Look, you can even see that there's cities and everything on the outside. And then if you look at the picture different, it's looking inwards. It's not a circle, like they're looking inwards, yo. I've been trying to tell y'all. Wake up!
The family dog perks up as a bright light flashes and what looks like a pale little face seems to peek out of the door. Then a shadowy figure about the size of a child seems to be standing in the hallway before disappearing, just as the little pale face peeks out of the door again. Brandis and her husband Sky have never posted or even experienced anything paranormal, and they say they have no idea what this could be.
The official disappearing of the moon will happen in February. You know David Copperfield?
Famous
illusionist?
magician? Yeah.
Magician?
Yeah. Legend.
Well, he's back on the scene. He says his next trick will be to make the moon disappear.
Don't do that.
So he was interviewed, and he says, yes, it's taken me 30 years to figure it out. And then he goes on to say, it's for the Save the Children Foundation. And his quote was, if one man can make the moon disappear from the sky, imagine what we can do to make hunger, poverty, and danger go away for children.
It's like Zoolander versus the magician. If I can make the moon disappear, that's not going to help anything.
He's been testing it for the past few months, and people have reported the moon disappearing.
Uh-oh.
I've seen multiple TikToks that are like, they're a Starfinder out, and they're like, and the moon's supposed to be right there, and there's no moon. And he's asked if any one of you sees something strange in the sky, please report it to me, because I want to figure out if the tests are going too early.
So everyone's going to be able to see it?
Not even knowing this is happening.
Yeah.
People are like, where's the moon?
We are literally in a Truman Show.
Remember we were talking about the conspiracy around the hurricane stuff?
Yep. Yes.
Literally after we stopped filming it, I saw like 10 or so posts talking about this area in North Carolina.
Okay.
That is one of the world's largest deposits of lithium.
Oh gosh.
Yep.
And it's in a residential zone.
Yeah, you can't mine it.
And they've gone to these people supposedly and said, we'd like to purchase your land. And they all refused.
Are you kidding me?
And now that exact same spot is
wiped out.
This is Maui all over again.
They said the amount of lithium there is like upwards of like $5 trillion plus.
Oh goodness gracious.
Like, I mean, it's lithium rich in this area that was wiped out.
And so now we have to keep an eye on that area, because what the flip are they going to do there, dude?
Yeah.
People won't be able to afford to rebuild, and so they'll be looking for a bailout. So if someone can come in and cover, like the remaining mortgage, families will go somewhere else and start over, leaving the land behind.
Last episode, I said that this hasn't happened, was 100 years ago. Correction, last time this happened in the North Carolina region, 1,000 years ago.
The guy who posted.
Yeah, so I'm just starting to believe that they can control weather and things like that, because those hurricanes last year, they seem like, especially the second one, almost seem intentional. And what are the odds of like Asheville, North Carolina, areas like that getting hit by a freaking hurricane? I actually thought about moving down there before all that happened, but obviously I'm not going to do that now. But if it is what they're saying is true, it makes sense that they got hit, right? Same with Miley. So we start seeing a whole bunch of people mining and stuff in that area. We know why. And as far as the moon situation, even on this channel, we've seen videos of the moon disappearing and things like that. So if a magician can do it, imagine what the government and the other powers that be that can do. Yeah, like I said, almost do something. We're going to Truman Show this. I guess a simulation or something.
This is some Black Mirror shit.
The latest paper, the one that happened even after this, which is already better, uses stable diffusion, uses the thing that you use to make art. Like, what should a thing that you use to make art have anything to do with reading your brain? But of course, it goes further. So in this one, they said, can they understand the inner monologue, the things you're saying to yourself in your own mind? Mind you, by the way, when you dream, like your visual cortex runs in reverse, so your dreams are no longer safe.
What?
But we'll try this. So they had people watch a video and just narrate what was going on in the video in their mind. So there's a woman, she gets hit in the back, she falls over. This is what the computer reconstructed the person thinking. See a girl, looks just like me, get hit in the back, and then she is knocked off. So our thoughts, are starting to be decoded. Yeah. Just think about what this means for authoritarian states, for instance. Or if you want to generate images that maximally activate your pleasure sensor, or anything else. Okay, but let's keep going, right? To really get the sense of the combinatorics of this. How about, can we go from Wi-Fi radio signals, sort of like the Wi-Fi routers in your house, they're bouncing off radio signals that work sort of like sonar. Can you go from that to where human beings are, to images? So what they did is they had, a camera looking at a space with people in it. That's sort of like coming in from one eye. The other eye is the radio signals, so sonar from the Wi-Fi router. And they just learned to predict, this is where the human beings are. Then they took away the camera. So all the AI had was the language of radio signals bouncing around a room. And this is what they're able to reconstruct. Real-time 3D pose estimation, right? So suddenly AI has turned every Wi-Fi router into a camera that can work in the dark, specially tuned for tracking living beings.
This is how powerful our tech companies are today. He said, imagine what this would mean for authoritarian figures. Well, just think about what this means for the tech companies behind this AI that sell all of our information and data on the black market. Facebook and these tech companies have done this for well over a decade. And we're not just talking about personal information, because your Wi-Fi router at home is literally a fucking camera now, and probably has been for a very long time.
All seeing these strange videos of these kids running through their neighborhood at 2:17 in the morning. Their arms are spread wide open, and it looks like they're being controlled or possessed by something. So what the hell is going on in this town? And keep an eye on these damn kids.
I'll show you the beautiful river. Well, you can't really tell there's water under there. Somewhere under all that rubbish is water. Water that will probably kill you with one sip.
Be that comfortable to deal with a snake that large must be something that happens on a regular basis for those citizens.
Oh my God, they actually said it.
But we are capable of so much more. Our technologies permit us to manipulate time and space. They leave distance annihilated.
This announcement was made just 3 days ago on April 14, 2025 by Michael Kratsios. He is the director of the White House Office for Science and Technology Policy. It does not get any more official than that. Quote, the US has technology that can manipulate time and space. I will link a playlist of mine down at the bottom so you can see the patents that enable us to do that. This is a huge day for UFO disclosure. You probably don't realize it yet. It goes on to say that technology and science has been intentionally stagnated by policy since the 1970s. Anybody who's been tracking this topic knows this. I'm of the opinion that it goes back way further than that. 2025 is undoubtedly going to be an unprecedented year for UAP and UFO disclosure. Let's take our power back, people.
Maybe that explains why, if you go back to the 70s, people that were in their 30s look like nowadays they would be in their 50s. Some people believe that time is moving much faster than it did 40 years ago. What do you think?
Hey, y'all, when's the last time y'all seen a new cemetery being created and developed in your community? Where are all the dead bodies going? Kentucky Fried Chicken, McDonald's, who knows, man? But look, there's a lot more people in this world than there used to be. Where's all them bodies going? They ain't burying them in the cemeteries because they ain't filling up. They ain't making no new ones, huh? Something to think about. Whoop, whoop.
I've just crawled into this cave. Got all of this bedding material. And look at this bear sleeping in this cave. She's hibernating. They've just put an ear tag and a collar on her. She's about a 12-year-old black bear right in this cave in Utah. What an incredible experience. This is amazing.
Some people really like to dance with death. What if that bear would have woken up?
Scientists just turned light into a solid, and it flows like a liquid. For the first time ever, researchers in Italy have created a quantum supersolid using only light, a bizarre state of matter that defies physics as we know it. Over a decade ago, they showed light could act like a fluid, but now they've taken it further. Solid light that flows. Are we unlocking new dimensions of reality?
It's been over 6 months since the first time we've seen so many UAPs in the sky, yet the government still won't really say what they are. Do you believe that it's possible that UAPs, and maybe that's why we're seeing more of them, or maybe they see humans more as an issue and they're watching us more?
Station gone wrong, right? The Philadelphia experiment. I know you had to hear about this. It was about a Navy SEAL that transported through time. Like the U.S. Navy allegedly conducted an experiment that made the USS Eldridge vanish, and then it reappeared. But the crew, some were still fusing to the metal. Others went insane. A glitch in reality is what they want to call it. Or is it just the government tampering with forces beyond their control? Look it up. That's all I'm saying.
On this construction site, these workers are bewildered from what they are witnessing.
Please do it,
and that it might actually be bipolar. Could be that. The doc then predicts how much longer they'll live. Sick, I know, but I also know you want to hear what she has to say. The doc says if these people don't get help or straighten up fast, I haven't pre-read any of this. Brittany won't make it to the age 30, Lindsay won't see 25, and Michael Jackson has no more than 5 years left. At the other end, Angelina's going to have a long, healthy life,
And so will George Bush and Nicole Richie.
If you're not already bipolar.
I hear yelling in the booth. Are they yelling at me for the way I read that?
You did great.
Okay.
But if you're not.
Excuse me.
I could hear Lisa yelling
Give her a break. She didn't read it earlier. She doesn't know the story. It's okay. Just stop it. She's okay.
I could hear you.
Yeah. Some expert who does.
This is one of the craziest UFO videos I have ever seen. Check it out.
Sarah, get out here! What is that? Sarah, get out here! Sarah!
See, another one appeared. I mean, I was thinking they could be flares, but... So, what do you guys think about this one? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and like always, follow for more videos.
Flares don't move like that.
So I accidentally fell asleep with YouTube playing on my TV, and it's like the middle of the night, and when I woke up for my dream, this was on my TV. Who are you? Why is that on my TV?
Hold up, Michael B. Jordan? I knew it. What? I knew it. Ain't no way.
Tell us who you play and who's the better brother.
I play Stack, and of course, I'm the better brother. You know, I'm a little bit more ambitious. I can dress a lot better, as you can see, and a bit more of a charmer and talker. I get the business done. First
No
of all,
way.
I see no son in the sky. Take them damn shades off. For business, boy can't even count. I'm clearly the better brother.
It's not a game. It's CL time. So that's the name of his new movie with his twin brother. Sinners? Oh, no, you didn't. You know how it goes down in HW, guys. 2 for 1 special. Shh. Shut up! This is gonna be an interesting movie. This video is for entertainment purposes only. I'm just letting everybody know that Michael B. Jordan is now coming out with a new movie called Sinners. And he seems to have somebody in the movie that looks just like him. Maybe his twin brother, or it's just special effects. You know how they do. Get ready. Michael B. Jordan is one of my favorite actors. Let's not forget that. This dude can act for real. So now I'm wondering who's going to act better, him or his twin brother? I don't know, guys. Let me know what you think. I'm out.
How many times are they going to throw it right in front of our faces until people believe that cloning is possible?
Do you remember when that video went viral of the microwave plate and people realizing that the indentation on this plate that sits in the gear that turns the plate in the microwave is the same shape as the radiation symbol? Well, the crazy thing is, a lot of people are saying, it's no big deal, man, it's just because the gear in there. But it is interesting that it could be any other shape than the radiation symbol. But here's the crazy part. And you know what's crazy about microwaves is that it's about the only appliance that you have never seen a commercial for. Yet it's in all of our homes. Unless you're like me and you got rid of your microwave. But there's something so crazy about microwaves, so much more than it's a frequency that excites the molecules and makes it warm up. But you cannot speak about it on Instagram. In fact, if you ask Google, are microwaves safe? You'll have to go to page 100 before you see any variance of an opinion on the matter. They're all absolutely 100% use it. It's great. It's an amazing invention. Never mind what Russia did in the 1960s regarding microwaves.
In your dreams, if you've seen a glass dome, floating roads, crazy architecture, and like super tall buildings, you might actually be viewing a classified location. I'm trying to describe this after just reading it because I have no idea really what I just read other than the fact that it's nuts. Apparently there's so many people that are having the same dream that there's like NSA, CIA type people that are whistleblowing saying like, oh yeah, like we know that this is going on. And then something in my head's like, well, why would they care about that? Like, does this mean that like somehow thousands of people are like tapping into being able to remote view a classified location? Because every single person has described it the exact same way. And everyone's been like, oh, I've been there before. I hope that I tap into that somehow because I'm curious to see what it looks like. But has anybody had the glass dome with floating roads, crazy architecture, and super high buildings dream?
Yo, this crazy. Atlanta authorities were able to locate 4 of the missing 17 people that responded to a job interview off of Indeed. And after questioning all 4 of them, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, tap this search engine up above and find out exactly what transpired in Atlanta with the 17 missing individuals from that Indeed job interview. Yo, when you hear what they told the police, man, gonna blow your mind. And it ain't no way in the world that they wouldn't have been able to give the same exact story. These are people that don't know each other from a hole in the wall. Hit the search engine up above and type in what happened to the 4 of the 17 kidnapped individuals in Atlanta.
You have to be some of the worst human beings to take advantage of someone looking for a job. Times are extremely difficult for the average person right now. And the last thing we need is someone taking advantage of that. I'm glad that the police of Atlanta is taking that serious and doing what they need to do. Hopefully the people that are doing these bad things that I'm not allowed to say on YouTube, hopefully they get arrested.
This man was attacked by elves in the woods and got it all on camera. Watch this, y'all. You can clearly see little creatures attacking this man out of nowhere. This man is so scared for his life. And they're everywhere. They're all around him. This man narrowly survived a duende's attack. I believe duende means elf in Spanish, and they will harass you to no end. He was very lucky to find elevation in the trees where these creatures are vertically challenged. He might not be so lucky next time. It's scary enough to get attacked by one, let alone a whole pack. Let me know if you or someone you know has ever had an interaction with one of these creatures, or any supernatural creature at all. As always, thank you for watching. Until next time, stay weird.
All fiction comes from some truth. If elves are real, which we're seeing more and more on TikTok, my question is, why do elves have issues with humans? Did humans do something to elves in the past?
Have you all seen what happens at the airport now if you do not have the real ID, the new license? This is totally dystopian. So first, when Resilient LA got to the airport, the first thing they did when they found out she did not have it was they took her and moved her to the side for like 10 to 15 minutes for everybody to see. So basically, act like you are some sort of criminal or something and separate you. Look how subliminal this is. They give them a red sheet of paper, red of all colors, talking about how they are non-compliant. Think about modern day schools, how they mimic modern day prisons, even like getting in line and doing certain things. It's all subliminal. And then the swabbing of the hands, almost like frisking, like again, like you have been pulled aside and dehumanized by the system that you are not going to walk with. The craziest part is this, not only did the whole ordeal take like an hour, they also swiped her phone the same way they swiped her hands. Just think for a minute of what kind of technology they could have and what they could be getting from the phone.
They stopped me and they like swipe my phone.
I guarantee there's more going on than meets the eye. Get with the system or we will alienate you and make you so uncomfortable to the point where you just get with whatever we say.
Look closely to the background.
I'm about to watch Planet of the Apes, specifically the newest one.
That's the fourth one, right?
Yes, that is the fourth one. I'm super excited about it, and look at that guy. You see that guy over there?
Yeah. What's wrong with him?
I don't know.
Oh, baby! Baby! Oh, shit! What the fuck, baby? Go, 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 go!
Look, you guys, it rocks, but then it stops on its own when I come outside. Let's see if I could get it on camera. There's like no wind. That's... I know, Blue, someone's there, huh? I know it, I know. I don't know why it does that. It does it every time, you guys. This is the third time. I can't believe I caught it on camera.
We've just had a recent Mothman sighting. Actually, two. Now, these were reported to me that happened within the same general time frame of last week. This first report comes out of Bloomington, Illinois at ISU near Williams Hall. Now, we had a witness who wishes to remain anonymous. They said they were walking late one night near Williams Hall when they seen what appeared to be a man or something standing on one of the buildings. They said when they looked closely, whatever this was appeared to have glowing bright red eyes. And at the time, they thought maybe this was a Halloween prank until whatever this was took off into the sky with large flapping wings and headed east across town. So, have you seen any Mothman sightings recently or heard of any? Please feel free to drop them in the comments or send me a message.
People who could have changed the world and disappeared. Thomas Ogle was an American mechanic who invented a carburetor-free fuel system, capable of making a vehicle travel over 100 kilometers with just under 2 liters of gasoline. He claimed that his invention could be installed in any automobile. Naturally, the automotive industry showed interest in the idea. But the company most interested was Shell, which even offered him $20 million for it. However, Thomas refused the offer, arguing that Shell would never actually use his invention, rendering all his efforts meaningless. On August 19, 1981, Thomas Ogle was found dead. The official cause was reported as alcohol poisoning and a drug overdose. It was also said that his invention, along with all his paperwork, mysteriously disappeared. Of course, many people did not believe that the mechanic had taken his own life, especially since all the doctors involved in the case confirmed that Thomas had no history of alcohol or drug abuse. Everything pointed to one conclusion: his death was staged to silence him. Because if his idea had gone forward, it would have significantly harmed the fuel industry.
Elites and powerful people only care about money. They could care less about innovation. If anything, they try to suppress innovation for profit.
creepy is that the North Pole in that old ancient map, there's more to it. So there's a satellite image from the ESA 7 satellite. This was in 1968. It was like the first visual of Earth via satellite.
What the heck?
Okay, well then this was from Google Earth.
It's the hole to the center of the Earth.
And then this was released by NASA, I believe, 80s or 90s. You're not allowed to fly over the North Pole. But Admiral Byrd did. Apparently he had his secret diary. And then when he died, his son got it. And then when his son was trying to publish the stuff in it, he died. But Admiral Byrd talks about when he went to explore the North Pole, there was an entry to inner Earth, like hollow Earth. And he describes it as being in the Earth, lush green land beyond the ice, mammoth-like creatures, a technology-advanced civilization, and meeting with a being called the Master. So apparently this Master gave Admiral Byrd this message.
You see, we have never interfered before in your race's wars of barbarity, but now we must, for you have learned to tamper with a certain power that is not for man, namely the atomic energy. You see, our culture and science is many thousands of years beyond your race. You, my son, must return to the surface of the world with this message.
Cool. People will say the reason why you can't go to the North Pole is because how dangerous it is. But I start to think after making this channel that there's more to it, and we'll never know. I think that there could be people that are in Hollow Earth, or maybe it's another dimension, because I've heard that phrase what the maker said too many times now. It's the same story with the UFOs back in the day, with one of the presidents signing a treaty with them because they made bombs. I mean, because they made atomic bombs. The UFOs didn't start to show up as frequently until then. I mean, think about it for a second. If you were Hollow Earth, different dimension, part of the galaxy, and you found out humans of all species could create something that could destroy a planet, wouldn't you keep an eye on them?
Satanic performances have permeated the Grammys for many years.
Nicki Minaj had a mock exorcism performed on her and later claimed that she did it to prove that the demon that possesses her, which she calls Roman, is too powerful to be cast out. Katy Perry performed Dark Horse with a performance of what appeared to be a witch's Sabbath with Satan and demons glorifying her. Madonna came out with all kinds of devil-horned demons appearing to worship her.
The aging pop star had recently done a photo shoot in which she portrayed herself as Jesus in a display that mocked Jesus' Last Supper. In the unholy song that was performed at the Grammys, it tells of a husband and father stepping out of the bounds of the marriage covenant. They sing,
Have you showed this song to your parents? What do they say about these lyrics?
Oh, they love it. They're used to it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my parents are used to my filth.
The performance has been called a satanic display, and in a now deleted reply on Twitter to Sam Smith, the official CBS Twitter page said, "We are ready to worship." The seductive display of half-naked worshipers bowed down to Smith in a top hat with devil horns. Flames marked much of the performance as his co-star was kept in a cage.
To me, we all see what's going on with the concerts, the performances with these musicians. My question is, why has it become more and more of a common thing to worship what most people would consider evil?
Claims that he has finally solved the mystery of Egyptian pyramid building and the mystery of Edward Leeds Calnan. But who is Edward Leeds Calnan? It is believed that this man learned the secret of pyramid building back in the last century. Having a height of 1 meter 50 centimeters and weighing 55 kilograms, he single-handedly moved coral blocks weighing up to 40 tons. And built with his own hands the famous Coral Castle in Florida. The man built it at night behind a high fence, but people who were able to spy on him claimed that they saw the giant blocks just floating in the air. And this is a video of our time. It shows giant blocks levitating from sound waves, and you can lift any rock. Scientists suggest that most likely the creators of the ancient pyramids had special tools that allowed, with the help of sound, to lift giant blocks. For example, as on this video where the guy with the help of sound vibration from the pipe raises a piece of metal. By the way, do you think people could have built the pyramids 5,000 years ago? Or were they built before us by a past advanced civilization?
I think it was built before with a past civilization. As far as sound, until I see a video of somebody using sound using a huge, like 500 pounds or more rock, then I'll believe that sound can do that. I'm very skeptical of it. This man is crazy.
Y'all, look at the color. It's the same exact color popping up in every single storm around the United States for months now. And it has a lot to do with frequency and the way you're feeling. We'll get to that in just 1 second. Quick recap. These strange colors have been appearing in the sky with strange noises. And no, it's not Transformers. It's been reported in fields multiple times the past month. These sounds and these lights are popping up in all storms, all due to frequency. And how do we know that? Because the geomagnetic storms and the aurora that we keep seeing in the northeast United States. And also, that's why you feel like crap too. Now, if you weren't born yesterday or just downright ignorant, you would know that this right here is not normal. And I'm mainly talking about the fact that states above North Carolina can literally see the aurora tonight. And the Schumann frequency is even more evidence of this fact matching what's happening with the sun, which is why you either feel really good or really bad. But are all these frequencies natural? Of course it is! And completely unrelated, what happens in Alaska happens everywhere. And with the frequency going on all around us, I wonder if it's making certain things worse. The weather chasers notice something weird going on. And to top it off, people are saying they see dragons come out the sun? Seems spiritual, like demons and smoke. What do y'all think?
Let me tell y'all a true story, be someone watch this video to the end. Come on, Steph Curry. This video is for entertainment purposes only. Let's go. Look at this. I'm done. Really? You believe that? Shut up! You know what that reminds me of? You know, when you go to your fridge, you're trying to put something in your fridge, but it won't stay up unless you put that on the fridge. Stop playing with me, son. This video is for entertainment purposes only, and Steph Curry is an amazing basketball player, and he's almost like the greatest of all time. Shut up! Now ask yourself this. Why wasn't Jordan doing that back in the days? Larry Bird, Will Chamberlain, Kobe, you know, all the greats. But now all of a sudden, Steph Curry could do it. Stop playing with me, son. It's not a game on here, guys. You know what time is it? What you thought? Whatever you thought, stop thinking it. Yeah, I know, you don't want to face it. Right now you would say, he does it all the time, he practices. Of course, the zombies will say that. Stop playing with me, son. It's not a game in these streets, guys, and you know what time is it. But I tell you one thing, if I ever go to that same basketball court, and I take the ball, and I throw it, and I miss it, we all know what time is it.
It is something very weird with basketball nowadays. He does make a good point though. How come people back in the day wasn't doing it as well as Curry? And I think most sports are rigged anyway, at least in the United States. I don't know about other countries, but the United States, I feel like it's all like WWE wrestling. I thought people knew this was fake for, I don't know, at least a decade for now. I mean, it's too much money at stake to let it be legit, in my opinion.
We have an interesting video. This time it's coming out of Mississippi. This was captured during a live broadcast of a tornado watch. And what it appears to be is a massive, unidentified object moving through the sky. Again, this is during a live tornado watch. So the question remains, what was it?
No. Does anybody know Brandon or Corey are out there?
Did you see that?
Yeah. Bro. Come on, Max. You see that? They found it. Look at that. Look at that.
No.
Does anybody know Brandon or Corey are out there?
Did you see that?
Yeah. Bro. Come on, Max. You see that? They found it. Look at that. Look at that.
You look like some type of unknown object is being chased by something. Maybe that's what's causing the weather. It'd be so crazy.
This will get a lot crazier in 1 second, but first, what in the world are we seeing right here? I like how in 2025, and even a few past years, everything is blatantly in the open for all to see. By the way, this video is entertainment for satire, but right in our face. And we don't think they're using the technology to do something not related to this. And this part's even worse, and I'll tell you why, but in this country right here, they have literal robots, powered by AI, literally building cars without fault, without error. So let me ask you this, if they can build cars, what else can they do? Everything. Do you really believe that your job is going to be secured in 10 years when they're selling robots just like this for what, 10 grand? Say you get paid 60 grand. They could replace you with 6 of you that would never make an error. And you would not be able to find work. You would own nothing. And you would also be happy watching things like this on TV. Everybody you know will be affected. You better find some kind of work or job or side job where you work for yourself and they can't do it better than you. In 2025, nothing is real.
You know, what's funny is I thought about this 2019 when I used to do Uber Eats, and when they first was talking about robots and all this other stuff, mainly Amazon, I think, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get into maintenance. Then I got into IT, and then I got into maintenance, and that was the reason behind it. And then I wound up getting in robotics. So worst case scenario, if Amazon and everything else don't work out because of the AI robots, I can at least be the person sitting there working on them, building some new ones maybe.
Her name is Anna Victoria, and she was just making a get ready with me video when she captured something paranormal. Now, whatever this thing is it's fast. Look at her right side behind her shoulder by the pink box. The video has been slowed down so you can see it. Now, oddly enough, she thinks it's her cat. But you take a look at this and decide, is this maybe a cat? Or is this something others are stating is a duende, gnome, or even a house brownie? Whatever it is, definitely looks like a furry animal, but it also looks like it's on 2 legs. Take a look at this and tell me what you think.
It looks like it's like a cat with an outfit on, standing on 2 legs, walking. Maybe her cat can do that, I don't know.
That anxious or that quick moving that was going on the other side of the vehicle. Oh my gosh, he's completely alive. He was trying to get away. He was.
Gosh, does anybody else remember that clip? It was harrowing. Well, how can you forget it? It was Anne Heche after her crash, which ultimately took her life. Suddenly sitting bolt upright, unzipping herself from a body bag, and looking very much alive. Then we were told a few minutes later she'd passed away. It was all very strange, very odd. There's a lot of conspiracy theories around it. Also, considering she used to be the ex-partner of Ellen DeGeneres, who she talked quite openly about and was quite critical of. Now, with the P. Diddy trial coming up very soon, in May in fact, we're going to find out a lot of things, I believe, about many celebrities and the people that were connected to Diddy. Now, Ellen was a big friend of Diddy's. She moved abroad quite quickly, claiming it was because she didn't agree with Donald Trump and his policies. But is that the real reason? She moved to the Cotswolds, so she's over here in my country. She's dyed her hair brown. Her trademark blonde bob has gone. She's now in disguise. So what do we think actually really happened to Anne? Was she silenced, as a lot of people say, because she knew too much? She was making a documentary, wasn't she, about child trafficking as well. which was due to be released, and obviously that never happened. So yeah, conspiracy theorists, I'm not usually with you guys, but there's a lot to unpick in this story. Get in my comments and tell me what you think about everything.
I think you're onto something. I think, yeah, they silenced that person for obvious reasons. Hopefully we will find something out in a couple of months with Diddy.
Kanye has officially went crazy, y'all. This man got an unaliving wish, if you know what I'm talking about. Did y'all just see what he said about Jay-Z and Beyonce kids? The twins? Your man is wildin', y'all. This man wrote, has anybody seen Beyonce and Jay-Z twins? They are our words. Literally. That's what this man just said. Then he goes, this is why artificial insemination is a blessing. He said having R-word kids is a choice. Y'all see what it say right here. I'm telling y'all, something is wrong with his Abdullah oblongata. They really did something to clone your brain, y'all. It is not right. This man is wildin'. Like, you didn't have to bring the kids into it. That's where the line crossed. That's wild, bro. They only kids. You can go at Jay-Z and Beyonce, but leave the kids alone. He going at everybody neck. He said F everybody. Maybe y'all, he hella mad because he might have to lose $500 million if that divorce is finalized. I need y'all to drop y'all thoughts down below in the comments on what the hell is going on with Kanye. What is his motive here? I really need to know. Kanye said the mother of his children is a ST. Kanye's officially crashing out for good and for bad. We see the bad that he's doing crashing out, but I guess he's doing some good too because he's exposing everything. Nothing is being left on the table. He's going after everybody. If you going at the mother of your child, calling her a ST, why would he lie about that? That's a little diabolical if you ask me. Remember, he wanted to get as far away as he could from the Kardashians. Is this the reason why? Look what he said about Kim. We gotta stop thinking he just crazy. Maybe he's crazy because what he know. And he know that people might do something to him for the way he's acting. And he's probably coming into his own like, I'm ready for whatever's gonna happen to me. Y'all remember he was on a phone call with Diddy. What if Diddy told him, like, they blaming me, but I really know who's in this shit and who's doing what? And he told Kanye, knowing Kanye is going ballistic and going to tell the world. What if that was the whole point of this? Because like I said, this is his children's mother. Like, your children's going to see this. I don't think you really want to mess up the relationship that bad between you and your family. So for him to say this, it gotta be somewhat true, right? I just got a bad feeling about Kanye, man. Y'all pray for Kanye. For real. Keep this man safe. He done made so many enemies. It's not looking good, y'all. I'ma keep y'all updated on this for sure. But I need y'all to drop y'all thoughts in the comments. Do you think this is really true? And for me, I wouldn't put it past none of them.
My opinion, you gotta look at this you can look at it from 2 points of view. One, he literally crazy and he's having a bipolar episode, a manic episode. And he just is saying stuff. If you look at Kanye past, he got famous and got a lot of attention for saying controversy things. It goes back all the way to like when his mom was still alive. I mean, I could give you like 3 examples. 2 was MTV, and the third one was when he was doing stuff with I think it was like Trump or something like that, was saying all this stuff. And usually when he does this, I mean, the album about to come out. Now I don't know if that's the case with this one, or you can look at it from the other point of view. That he ain't crazy, there's nothing wrong with him, and he's speaking some truth in some of the things he's saying, and maybe he's using code words and stuff because he can't directly say the stuff. people can say what they want, but that Kardashian curse is real. If you look at every single man that they've been with, they done got crazier or worse off when they dated one of them. And I'm sure it is a very strong reason for that. We could look at like maybe the Kardashians, some type of rituals or something. Who knows what it may be. I mean, look how they got famous, so I wouldn't put it past them. I don't know what to believe at this point, because I see the pattern of the saying crazy stuff, album, saying crazy stuff, album. Most people usually don't care if the album's good, but his last album apparently wasn't that good. I wouldn't know. I haven't listened to Kanye music for over 10 years. But do I think what he's saying could be true? Of course. I mean, we're talking about the Kardashians here. It wouldn't surprise me at all. But some of the other stuff he is doing and siding with, like Diddy, for example, is very weird. So let me know what you think in the comments. I would love to say. And if you don't know what ST is, please somebody in the comments say what it is, because obviously I can't say it, and the person on TikTok can't say it either.
It was a song exclusively written by Satan himself. Some of you may know this song, but more so the older school folks. It came out in 1973, and it's called I Write the Songs, sung by Barry Manilow. If you have not heard this song, you would not believe how eerily outright written this was. Disclaimer, I'm about to show you a little snippet of the song. It shouldn't scare you, but if it does, then you can skim over this like 5-second part. It's really not long, and then I'm gonna just read you the lyrics. Look at the lyrics. Okay, let's break this down a little bit. I've been alive forever, and I wrote the very first song. Lucifer was the music. God created Lucifer to create music. Music was created even in him. It came out of him. It was, you know, completely flourished by him. He was the start of music because of God. I put the words and the melodies together. I am music, and I write the songs. And then we go into the chorus. I write the songs that make the whole world sing. I write the songs of love and special things. I write the songs that make the young girls cry. I write the songs. I write the songs. This is verse 2. My home lies deep within you, and I've got my own place in your soul. Now when I look out through your eyes, I'm young again, even though I'm very old. He is spiritual. He's a spirit. He is not human. We are all spirits, but we have a human suit. Angels were not created with a human suit. This is how he clarifies. Though I am very old, I've been alive forever. And this is the very last line of the song, the outro. I am music, and I write the songs. Can you say eerie? Can you say Lucifer? Hello, can you say Satan? Because that is what it is. That is who it is. And I do not understand how these artists will literally get songs strictly, strategically from Satan himself and will sing it for him. It's like Satan does not love you. He's not on your side. However, he does promise these people fame and fortune. So they give up everything that they have to bow down to him, so that way they can receive the things that they desire in this world. What does it profit a man to gain the whole world and in the end lose their soul? This is not the only song Satan has made, okay? He has made many trillions of songs for artists in this generation, the last and the last and the last before that. He has been making music since before we've been thought of, okay? So nothing is new under the sun. He knows what he is doing. It's just, this is the most blatant song to date made by Satan himself. That is why I'm pointing it out. And it's just the craziest thing, because my mom was showing me this and telling me this about this, I think the day before. And I was like, I have to make a video about this because this is ludicrous. It is insane. But
that would make a lot of sense about some of the songs we see, especially nowadays, with literal rituals they're doing in front of millions of people. Well, not millions, thousands of people at concerts. But why people would sell their soul for that stuff, or claim to sell their soul, they can't. A lot of humans will do anything for to satisfy their ego, and that comes from greed or, being very famous. Some people crave that stuff. I don't know why anybody would ever crave to be famous. I feel like there's no big perk enough to me to want to be super famous. Like you go outside and people following you and all that stuff. People might be anybody could be a threat to you. I don't know. I value privacy too much to want to be like super world famous. That's just mind blowing to me. The money, not worth it considering what you're losing.
Talking about the stranded research team in Antarctica that has recently started to attack each other. There is this research team that are in these compounds from 1956. They look like storage container, and they are in Antarctica in one of the coldest locations, and they are isolated. And they have just begun to basically attack each other. To the point, one of them is sending a distressed email saying they need to remove someone, but they can't because they're trapped, they're isolated, there's no getting out. This team of scientists is trapped at an isolated Antarctica base for 10 months. One of them just attacked and threatened others. They are currently stationed at a remote base in the continent in freezing temperatures and high wind mileage. Well, apparently one of these motherfuckers went rogue and attacked a fellow colleague. That colleague then sent an email saying that they need to get this man out of here and they are deeply disturbed. That he's also behaving in another deeply disturbing manner. I could tell you stories about what's behind the Antarctic wall and why those researchers are really there. That scientist is going rogue for a reason, and I'm interested to see what happens because they cannot leave or go get them. And what's even crazier is that one who's going rogue is sending out death threats and assaulting the other members. Who's gonna tell them that they were the experiment? I am gonna be following this story, so follow me because something tells me something else is gonna go down and they're all gonna go rogue. What the fuck did they discover out there to make them start to go crazy?
This 6-year-old girl was allegedly sold by her own mother to a sangoma for her skin and blue-green eyes. And while witnesses made these horrifying testimonies in court this week, one of the defendants accused of orchestrating the girl's kidnapping was seen laughing. You see, in February last year, 6-year-old Jocelyn Smith from South Africa disappeared, triggering a nationwide search. Initially, her mother, Kelly Smith, claimed that she had left her daughter with the boyfriend, but police quickly became suspicious after they discovered that she had waited over 6 hours to report Jocelyn's disappearance and showed hardly any distress during the search. The mother, along with her boyfriend and another man, were later arrested and accused of selling, delivering, or exchanging the little girl and then lying about her disappearance. Their criminal trial began about 3 weeks ago, and honestly, some of the testimonies so far have been truly hard to listen to. A local pastor took to the stand and said that all the way back in 2023, the mother spoke to him about needing money and that she would be willing to sell her children for 20,000 rand each, but was willing to go as low as 5,000. The little girl's teacher also testified against the mother, saying that in the days after Jocelyn went missing, she allegedly said that her daughter was already on a ship inside a container and that they were on their way to West Africa. As the days went on, more and more witnesses took to the stand, including the mother's own sister. A pivotal moment in the trial came with the testimony of Laurentia Lombard, the mother's neighbor and friend, who was actually formerly accused but then turned into a state witness. She said she remembers the mother packing Jocelyn's clothes into a black bag before meeting a traditional healer known in South Africa as a sangoma, who then drove away with the two of them in a white van. Over a year later, we still don't know where Jocelyn Smith is, and the trial is expected to continue.
They need to rot under the prison. Why is this such a common thing? I swear, some people don't deserve to be a parent. Just because you can have kids don't mean you should have them, because that is extremely messed up. And in my opinion, they need to go under the jail forever. Every single person that's involved in that, because that is disgusting. The person laughing, I gotta watch what I say here, what I probably will do to that person, but I think you would know what I'm thinking about. So we'll just leave it at that. That person, they need to be under the jail for as long as possible. They need to literally turn into, they shouldn't get out. That's all I gotta say.
Tell me that this is planes. Even if this is plane, like on the radar, like what the fuck is that? What are we joking about? Is it a joke? Tell me these are planes. I mean, I can only laugh at this point because there's a lot of people who are like, dude, you're paranoid, and dude, they're fucking planes, dude, you're crazy, and that's fine. Just join me on the lives every night, 8:15 Eastern. I'll show you what I'm seeing. This is fucking wild. Where is 60 Minutes? That bullshit report they put out. Bunch of bullshit. Talk to the real people. Talk to the public. We see it every night. We see it every night. Oh my lord. Yeah, I mean, just every night. No, they're not lining up to land, man. I mean, maybe
Maybe. Could be. But I'm out here every night. I don't see that every night. I definitely don't. They're never over there. They're usually over there, posted up, which, by the way, these guys are all gone now. And sometimes over here, there's a bunch out there. I mean, it's crazy, y'all. This is a show you're getting tonight. This is not a normal sighting. So, Chels, way to be here. Thank you for being here. They're trying to communicate. Maybe, guys, there's a lot. Tell me if these are planes lining up to land. How comfortable you'd be in one of these planes, looking out the window and seeing another one right fucking there. Like, no way, dude. No way. I will give you. Dulles is like over there. But these things are showing up around airports all over the world. Look at my boy Jamez on YouTube. He did a video.
My friend sent me this video of her daughter. Yesterday she was standing on the corner waiting on the bus stop, and I know that sounds crazy, standing on the corner. No disrespect to her, but no, there's this guy just standing there, and you kind of notice that he, looking around, being really weird, trying to figure out if there's any cameras around, who's looking. And I want these young girls to understand you got to be aware of your surroundings. You can't never turn your back on nobody. Even if you minding your business, you don't want to be bothered. Place your back against a wall to where you can see everything and nothing is behind you. This dude is looking for the right time to do whatever he wants to do or whatever he's trying to do to this young girl. And she's trying to ignore him, but you need to be paying attention, baby, the entire time. I want y'all to share and tag this. Send this to a young lady that needs to see this. Be aware of your surroundings. Stop trying to ignore people and pay attention to them. Peace.
I'm going to do this from a different point of view for once. I feel like he's kind of blaming the girl when, in my opinion, I don't think she did anything wrong. In my opinion, I think they need to, how about we just start focusing on a world where a girl doesn't have to always got to be on guard. How about we make it so, start raising men right so they don't do messed up stuff like that. Now, obviously, we don't live in a perfect world, so no matter how much you try to raise a man to be right, there are going to be some bad apples, obviously. And in my opinion, she was paying attention the entire time. She was looking at him and ignoring him. But you could see if he was looking at the same video I'm looking at, she literally like this. She's like got him in peripheral. At the end of the day, if that guy was a piece of crap and if he was up to something, if he wanted to take her, he can take her. There's nothing she can do about it unless she has a weapon, something on that would stop, deter him. But if somebody want to do something with a man being physically stronger than a woman, it's not much she could do. Even if she was facing him the whole time and he was just like, you know what, screw it, I'm gonna grab her and just take her away or whatever. What can she do? She might could try to defend herself, but at the end of the day, by her looking at him, it could be something else behind her, and we don't know if it was a way for her to have her back to a wall. So, in my opinion, we need to start raising better people in general, because there should be no reason why anybody has to go out in public and always feel the need to be on that guard. I know that's the world we live in, but maybe we could change that and make the world be a little safer. Even though the world is safer statistically compared to like 90s and stuff, we can make the world a little bit more safer, so people don't have to be paranoid about stuff all the time. So I agree with him a little bit, but then I don't agree with him because I'm looking at it from a different point of view.
Okay, guys, I'm told that these are leaked videos and leaked images and leaked footage of actual beings. Now, when you see that, you're going to say, that's crazy. There's no way that's real. And, it's probably not real. But it could be. And see, this is the thing. This is why when I see this and I get sent something like this, I don't just take it lightly, because we're told that these type beings do exist and that they are amongst us. Check out this footage and tell me what you think. Yes, exactly right. I mean, a lot of people would say, hey, look, that's a gray alien. Guys, I'm not seeing the slit in the eyes, and I'm told that if these are really the other people, we'll just say that since they don't allow us to use that word, since they protect them, that they don't have those eyes like that they have the pupils. Could this possibly be the ones that, the scaly people, so to speak? Could it be real? Leave your comments. Let me know what you think. Are they amongst us? Are they shady?
I think that's AI. And the reason why, if you look at the second video and you see how the alien look at his head. I watch a lot of AI videos on YouTube. I forget the guy's name, but he makes like videos of creatures talking. They have like their own world and stuff, and they look like the design looks just like that. There's something about the lighting that you can tell is AI. It doesn't look completely real. You know how your eyes and mind just know when something isn't real sometimes? Like those little small inconsistencies that you notice. Also, the clips aren't long enough and it's too zoomed in to really be able to tell about the other clips. But I just think the second clip, I don't think that's real. So that's just what I think. That literally looked like a crater, like a meteor or something.
Bruh, I'm so hungry I could eat a damn dog.
I just found some weird ass shit under my house. What is that? Anybody know what that is?
It's literally like it's something from out of a movie. Some way out in the world look like that. Yeah, that's a skunk.
Oh my god! Look, Jay, look at the camera.
Yeah, what the hell is
What
that?
is that?
La ilaha illallah.
These wildfires are everywhere. What's going on with that? If it's not a wildfire, it's a flood.
This is what you look like after you come out of the crematorium. You're not ashes. After your bones cool off with this fan, your bones are taken to a grinder, which is over here, that grinds everything up. And then you're turned into that little powder that people call ashes.
We heard children laughing at an abandoned mall.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know why you stopped when you saw that. It is in here. Yo, we need to go check that out. Do you hear that? Yes. That's children. Where?
Sadly, in this world, we know that kids go missing all the time thanks to the T word that I'm not going to say, but I'm hoping they called the cops to at least, I would have recorded it, the sound, and then I would have just went to the cops.
Braylon? Braylon? What's happening with your car?
Ooh. Hey, hon. Come here. Look.
No, I can't do that.
During the day that I've... there goes the Xbox 2. Wait a minute. Oh, I'm not liking this. Oh, wow. Wait. I swear I can see... Ooh, stop it. I'm not liking that.
This what they be talking about when they be like New Orleans is below sea level. Y'all see how I'm pointing my camera straight out there and it look like the water is eye to eye with me? That is because I am below the water. I am below one strong gust of a wave. If the water feel like rising, all this whole strip is flooded, okay? This is what they mean by below sea level. We are eye to eye with the water. Literally. That water right there. That water right there. Okay?
Considering all the alien stuff we know nowadays, I'm starting to believe that this could be real.
Works at a department store. While he was doing his rounds, he passed a mannequin that seems to be watching him. Let's watch. In this video, we have a group of people that's on top of a mountain. Someone decided to record everybody that was standing there taking a break. While recording, they caught something unexplained on video. Let's watch.
They strapped a camera on a shark and look what it filmed in the sea. A mermaid in the sea.
Maybe that's how they find them to sell them to the elites. I wonder how much they charging for to consume them, which I think is weird. But like you already heard on my channel that they'll eat just about anything.
This is our warning, as scientists have dug up a world-ending supernatural violent creature coming out of hiding and being shown exactly as the biblical end-time scriptures describe. Scientists from Ireland were terrified after they uncovered evidence of what heavily appeared to be a small supernatural creature that didn't match any genetic material from Earth, with the scientists leaving a heavy warning that these creatures have been watching us for a while and we need to repent. Eerie reports of people like two brothers cleaning up near the area this was found, only to go home and both be found motionless in the kitchen the next morning. To even when archaeologists were digging this up, one of them reported choking for no reason and feeling two small hands on their neck. Haunting biblical scriptures like 1 Enoch 10 mention supernatural creatures like these will descend and cause end times, and it's all starting right now with nowhere to run. And it gets worse, with so many of these reports being told the European Habitats Directive has recognized leprechauns as a species, but this is all just speculative.
You know, all I think about when I see leprechaun is Leprechaun in the Hood, and I saw that when I was a kid, and it still terrifies me to this day. I just remember me being a kid, probably like 5, and for some odd reason, whatever the adults were around the time, because it wasn't my parents, I think it was somebody on my father's side, decided to watch it. They fell asleep. I'm still watching because I'm so terrified, and I'm still terrified. Leprechaun series to this day. That, and then what was the other one? I think it's Tales in the Hood, the one with the little dolls or something. Oh man.
Box. No, they're thinking inside of your skin, fool. What does the shirt say? God, take a look at this commercial. Really pay attention. Okay, you got the chicken. You got a sweater floating down. Then watch the people like in a cult or something. A big giant egg. They take the person to the water. Watch what happened, y'all. Now somebody explain to me, why on earth would they make a commercial showing them dipping a human into some water, turning them into chicken, KFC chicken? I don't really need the answer. I was just saying, I already know the answer. Do you? Let me know in the comments. This shit crazy, fool.
Does that explain why the KFC prices have gone up so high in the past couple of years? All jokes aside, whoever in the marketing team, they crazy for pulling that out. They literally, they're showing it to our face that they use other meats besides chicken if you going by with that commercial. And they literally say, believe in chicken. It's like, what's up with all these rituals everywhere and all the media? It's so weird. Person.
I had a dream so real, it didn't feel like it was yours, like it was almost planted there. Well, some say that's exactly how it starts. You see, there's a theory whispered in late night forums, one that even some former intelligence agents talk about off the record. Not about abductions, not experiments, but something stranger. They're called the Watchers. They don't take you, they don't speak, they don't even make contact. They observe in silence for years, decades even sometimes. You don't notice them until the patterns start to show. People report dreams that repeat, but always slightly different. They wake up in their own bed, but the mirror is different. Their room is the same, but something is off. Allegedly, one of the oldest texts to mention the Watchers is a Sumerian scroll locked away in a private collection. It describes a symbol that was carved into 3 known abduction sites. That's what we'll explore in part 2. If you've had a dream that didn't feel like it was yours, you're not alone. Comment below, let's compare notes, and follow, because this rabbit hole, it's just opening up. What if I told you the Watchers weren't just a modern phenomenon? Their existence goes back thousands of years. And the proof? It's hidden in our oldest texts. In the book of Enoch, they were called the Watchers, angels sent to observe humanity, but they defied their orders, descending to earth and creating something unnatural. The Nephilim, hybrid beings born from their corruption. But what if the Watchers weren't actually angels? What if they were something else. Throughout history, that triangular symbol has reappeared. Ancient Sumerians worshipped the Anunnaki, gods who supposedly descended from the stars. Some say they were the original watchers. And that symbol? It's been found etched into stone tablets dating back over 5,000 years. But it doesn't end there. In 1965, a mysterious object crashes in Kecksburg, Pennsylvania. Witnesses described hieroglyph-like symbols carved into its metallic surface, symbols that resemble the Watcher's mark. You'll also see this triangular shape recurring throughout history, even in modern times. Many people wonder why this symbol is used and why it matches this ancient symbol almost perfectly. Governments allegedly know about the Watchers, and they've even tried to cover it up through black projects throughout the years. But the evidence keeps surfacing. The Watchers leave clues, always just out of reach. And that symbol? It's their signature, or perhaps their invitation. Part 3 is about what happens when you find that symbol, or when it finds you. Drop an I if you've seen this before in your dreams, for entertainment purposes only.
Fortunately, I couldn't find part 3 on his channel. Maybe it's there, I just didn't see it at the time. But if you are interested, I will get part 3 and whatever else when I see it. So if it's not on this video, it'll be on the next video. So I'm sorry about that. When it does come to dreams, I've had dreams like that quite frequently. When I'm in a dream, and I've had dreams, I wake up, I'm in the same place, which is my bedroom or wherever I fall asleep at, and something is off. But you know what else? I would say a few times before I go to sleep, sometimes it does, it's very uncomfortable to talk about. It felt like something really is watching me. Like you just feel it. And for me personally, when I do feel like somebody watching me, it's usually my left ear. Start to hear static. And no, I don't have anything wrong with my ears. It's like the frequency or something changes. I know that sounds really crazy to talk about. I usually don't talk about these things out loud ever. I don't even talk to anyone about these things. But yeah, I would say it's like a 30% chance that happens to me every time before I go to sleep. Well, sometimes in general, I feel that frequency change. Let me know in the comments if you experience anything like that or anything crazier. Please let me know.
Okay, then this is the meat right here that washed up ashore. As you can see, the brand is called Perdix, and it is manufactured out of Brazil. There go your inspection stamp right there from Brazil, showing you that I guess it's supposedly already been inspected or whatever. It was headed to the Cayman Islands, but the container fell off the ship or whatever and magically floated to Jamaica. I'm just talking about this again is because I still find something weird and something suspicious about this, and they warning the people to not consume this meat, but people are still consuming it and looting and taking some home, and people have reported that they don't feel sick or anything, so hopefully it's not contaminated and everybody be fine and this doesn't turn into the next zombie apocalypse and people just start running around ripping each other's face off, because that's the last thing we need right now in 2020. People from Jamaica commenting on my last video where I talked about it, but on this video I want to hear in the comments of anyone who has consumed this meat. If you've cooked it at your own house, maybe went somewhere and purchased some, like how are you feeling? Are you feeling fine? Did it smell funny? Did it taste funny? Like somebody let me know in the comments, and I hope all is well over there in Jamaica. Y'all stay safe, stay prayed up. Love y'all. Peace!
She was sleeping in the woods alone with 2 dogs in Ohio, and immediately after setting up camp, one of the dogs stared at something for 15 minutes without reacting to her commands. And since the area isn't completely isolated, she didn't care and thought it was probably a hiker, but it turned out to be a calm moment foreshadowing what happened later that night, and she caught it all on camera. After putting her dogs inside the tent, she went out by herself in the direction Sumara was looking at to investigate.
There's a bad vibe. Something's weird right here. I don't feel right, man. I don't feel good at all. Okay. Hi, my name's Dee. I'm not here to hurt anybody. I just like to get nature at night. I'm losing it. I'm scared. I've got myself freaked. Hi.
After seeing the bat, she decided to come back to her camp and read scary stories to her viewers when she started hearing strange noises outside her tent.
And I was Hey! Woo!
After these noises, one of her dogs named Mia started shaking and nervously licking, which is a sign of distress. And sadly, it wasn't the end of horror experiences for them that night.
Get away from me. If you're near my tent, please leave. Stop, please.
Hello?
She tried to see it through the mesh, but didn't notice anything, so she decided to leave. And while she was packing her stuff, she saw a man driving by who could have called.
The name of the channel on YouTube, if you're interested, I believe it's called The Dark Adventures. I'm pretty sure it's something like that. If you're interested in her type of content, I highly suggest you check it out. She does a lot of overnight camping, and she does I believe sometimes she do reaction videos on scary videos. So I think her content's very interesting. I personally wouldn't want to go out and camping at night. I'm afraid of the woods as it is. Personally, I don't like the idea of being in like an open, vulnerable position. So I couldn't imagine at night and then feeling like something watching you.
Story. I would love to hear a cryptid story. The more research I do, the more identical they are. So again, we have 2 hunters who are out in South Carolina. These are avid woodsmen. They're camping, they're sitting at the fire, and as they're winding down, they begin to hear what sounds like drumming. Something's like with force hitting something. They start to get up, and before they see anything, like every other story, they smell something. Just a foot. It's like swamp and rotting flesh. They use the descriptor copper, kind of like a blood-like copper-like smell. They put a flashlight up, and immediately glowing eyes, tall humanoid creature, long arms to the ground, and they freeze in fear. And the thing like postures up, dude pulls his gun, fires a shot, hits it, and it lets out the loudest roar they've ever heard. After getting hit, it doesn't stop. It keeps running at them, and they get in the truck, and the proof that they have is the tailgate of this truck has claw marks through the back of it, but instead of just being like punched, it looks like tinfoil that's been peeled back. Oh my gosh. But this thing with glowing red eyes and the brake lights chased them for a quarter mile before giving up the pursuit. Quarter mile, this thing's roaring and running them down a hill. They've never gone back to the woods. This was in 1987. They've never been back.
I mean, that's like the Mothman, just like it chasing them for miles.
In that region of South Carolina, there's like legends of a lizard man, and it fits exactly with other stories where people have reported similar things. It's terrifying, dude.
Cave systems in the mountains. I guarantee that's where they're all coming from.
The following footage is phenomenal. This is crazy, and it is caught completely unexpectedly. This comes from a woman who was outside just taking a quick break when she filmed something absolutely paranormal, what appears to be a ghost jumping on a trampoline. But it gets even crazier. Towards the end, it's almost like you can see it leave. Take a look at this footage. Comment below, tell me what you think.
So I'm just sitting here doing my nails outside in this lovely day, and I hear something, and you just have to see this. See that? Watch. Look. Look. There's somebody in the trampoline, but there's not somebody in the trampoline. There's a fucking shadow. But there's nothing. Oh my god. There's a fucking shadow.
At least the ghost is having fun. That's the only thing I could think about that clip. It's very unusual.
500-year-old girl who is coming back to life. Stick with me because you're in for a wild ride, as you can see here. I did a video on this a long time ago, but for some reason it's circulating round again right now, freaking people out online and on social media, so here we go. So this mummy right here is known as La Doncella, or the Children of the Lulacana. These different mummies here are all part of the same family, the Children of the Lulacanu, where this group of mummies were found preserved at the top of the Lulacano volcano. But just wait, because it's crazy. This is the Lulacano volcano, which they were found right at the summit of this. And as you can imagine, it's pretty high up and pretty damn cold. The first crazy part is that look how realistic she looks right now, and she's over 500 years old. But with all of these people being believed to have lived in the 14 and 1500s, and it's also believed they were and sacrificed when they were only around 13 years old, then buried and left at the top of this. Now where it gets even more interesting, of course, the archaeologists found these preserved bodies with all the body features and everything still being there after 500 years. Normally you'd be gone, mate. But this is how you might imagine someone who had passed away about 20-30 years ago at tops. But by far the craziest bit out of all of this, I know you're waiting for it, she's coming back to life. Essentially, what happened is the scientists who were doing the tests when they got these preserved mummies obviously wanted to figure out how the hell is this possible. Of course, from being at the altitude and those sort of temperatures, it froze her body and her insides. So they found her organs perfectly intact, healthier than probably some of you, and even frozen blood still in her body and in her veins. So she was basically the first person to get cryogenically frozen. Now, no, she's not necessarily coming back to life, just going to get up and start walking again. All of these mummies are now in a museum. But the point of what people have been saying is she could technically come back to life. I actually saw a few scientists have said that it could potentially be possible, but it's not exactly going to be the easiest thing in the world, so I highly doubt it.
Talk about one of the most terrifying legends from Mexico, La Pascualita mannequin. Now, before I show you the creepy videos of this mannequin, let me break down the story a little bit. It was March 25th, 1930, when Pascuala Esparza's bridal shop in Chihuahua, Mexico, placed a very realistic looking mannequin on its storefront. Now, people immediately noticed that it looked a little too eerily familiar to the shop owner's daughter, who had just passed away from a scorpion bite on her wedding day. Now, coupled with how much it looked like her, how it was wearing a wedding dress, and how it had realistic looking set of hands and nails and veins, people started to speculate that the shop owner went crazy after his daughter's unaliving, wanted to keep her memory alive, and decided to embalm her body and prop her up for everyone to see her beauty and commemorate her. According to legend, obviously. Then it would be in the early 2000s that people would be more horrified of her because of this video. Now, I'm going to show you the video, but you need to look very close because it's one of those potato quality videos. It was recorded like in the early 2000s, okay? But in the video, you see La Pascualita smile. And guys, this was before filters, okay? Just take that in mind, okay? Okay, so I'm going to show you the video. Here it is. Now, our favorite Mexican paranormal TV show, Extra Normal, went to Chihuahua to investigate and basically asked the citizens if they have seen anything weird with La Pascualita. And the citizens in Chihuahua claim that sometimes they don't see the mannequin there, or that it would be moved from its position, and sometimes they apparently even see a woman in a wedding dress walking around the streets in the middle of the night, while La Pascualita is not in the front of the store. Now, I'm gonna be honest, this story is a little bit heartwarming, a little bit, because it's kind of like a tragic story. And if it is true that this is not a mannequin, it's actually a body, and the dad felt so heartbroken that he wanted to show off his daughter's beauty in what could have been basically a bride, it's a little bit heartwarming. But I'm gonna be honest, if I was her, I wouldn't want that to happen to me. But what do you guys think? Legend or hoax? Let me know.
I think that it's probably just a legend, but could you imagine walking home at night and seeing that mannequin walking around the streets when earlier that day before you went to work, it was inside of a store? Man, that would terrify me. I don't think I would even be in that city anymore. But I feel sorry for the father though, regardless. So, but that's all the videos I have today. I hope you have an excellent day, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.
Y'all want to hear some shit to really blow y'all's mind this morning? So, as a side hustle, I dig graves in graveyards and cemeteries across Bowling Green and surrounding counties. Something didn't set right with me today. As I was digging, the guy that's the director of the graveyard walked up to me and he was like, "We need to lift that casket up to get it even." So we put it on a tally and brought it back up. When we brought it back up, it come off even in a way, but it was crooked in the corner. So he's like, "We got to lift it." So I lifted it, me and him together. But the weirdest thing was, it was really light. Like, extremely light. Like, and I'm not a big dude. So I was like, I told him, I was like, why is that so light? He was like, "Don't ask questions that you ain't ready for." Y'all, I'm freaked out. What are they doing with these bodies?
Here are some close-up and clear trail camera captures of the so-called Dogman. However, these ones remain rather classified, with little to no background information at all. All we know is a hunter set up a trail camera deep in the forest in the winter. He set the camera up to capture wildlife and aid him in his hunts, which is what these cameras are usually used for. But instead of capturing normal wildlife, one day while he was looking back through his captures, this was seen. The motion and heat activated camera captured what looks to be a dogman, a mix between a dog and a human. The creature has dark, realistic fur with pointed ears and sharp, canine-like teeth. The photos are insanely clear, which is the main reason they landed on today's list. I mean, we can see every single detail. This must have been a super high-quality trail camera. Some of the clearest photos of a potential dogman for sure. They were highlighted in mid-January of this year, but it's believed they come from sometime in 2024. The first shot gives us a clear look at its face and upper body from the front. And the second one shows it from behind. If you don't know, the dogman is typically described as a bipedal creature, with the body of a muscular man and the head of a wolf or large dog. Unlike Bigfoot, which often carries a mysterious or even peaceful air, the dogman is often associated with aggression, intimidation, and predatory behavior. That's probably why it's gaining so much popularity and people are starting to talk about it more. And also because it's been captured more often. But if these trail camera captures are indeed real, they're some of the closest and clearest evidence of the dogman.
Considering how many unethical experiments scientists and other people of science have done before and during the Cold War, it wouldn't surprise me if they made something like that and all the other things that people see, like Mothman, Goldman, Dogman, werewolves, and so on.
Well, this is distressing. Musician who perished in 2021 resurrected as a clump of brain matter now composing new music. Yes, a group of researchers and artists used a musician's donated blood in order to create a brain organoid, so a tiny human brain that you can literally grow in a jar if you want to, and are now forcing it to compose new music. This actually happened. Just in case you aren't familiar, the tiny human brains can be hooked up to a computer and made to do various tasks. These particular tiny brains were made from a US composer, Alvin Lucier, and it raises a lot of questions. These are the brains in question. They were grown from the artist's blood. You can actually use a lot of cells to turn them into stem cells and into whatever organoid you want. They hooked them up to a computer and turned them into an art exhibit. Yes, they're connected to these speakers and they compose music. The researchers are hoping that they'll see them learning and improving the composition. Evidently, there was an agreement. The artist's health had declined in 2021 and he came to the organization Revivification and wanted to start this project. He donated his blood. Evidently, it actually worked, although I suspect it's kind of similar to how plants, if you hook them up to computer systems, you can monitor their cellular processes and make music from that. Although these little brain organoids also get input back so they can understand what they're doing. And if there's any concept of pattern, brain organoids tend to learn. They haven't put out a whole lot of information, so I don't know if it's like other brain organoid systems where they're trained on dopamine and ordered and disordered signals. Yes, brain organoids are technically sentient because they're capable of having an experience and responding to it. And we're not just talking about how, like, a toaster will have the experience of being turned on and then have an action. We're talking actual experiences of pain and joy. If you want to call the induction of dopamine joy, I would. I really enjoy dopamine. It's a kind of immortality that to me sounds kind of like eternal torment, but hey, whatever you like, I guess.
To me, it's some lines you just don't cross.
Sad tragedy takes Holly Weird to a whole new level. Maria Kovalchuk is a 20-year-old OF model and influencer. She was recently reported missing in Dubai for an entire week, and when she was eventually found, she had been dumped on the side of the road, barely alive, suffering from a broken spine and multiple fractured limbs. hoax. Now, prior to her disappearance, she had been in contact with her mother. She told her mom that she was staying with two men who claimed to be in the modeling industry, a detail that now raises serious red flag. Now, the official story doesn't quite add up. It gets really weird. So authorities in Dubai claim that Maria wandered around in an abandoned construction site, climbed onto the equipment, and fell, causing her injuries. But due to the level of severity of her injuries and the history of people who have been injured in that way, people are saying that it is literally not possible that that is how she got hurt. And many people think that this accident narrative is actually a cover-up, and it's being used to protect these powerful individuals who are involved in what is being referred to as an elite trafficking ring. A lot of people believe that Maria was invited to a secret party hosted by extremely rich and powerful men in Dubai, like only for elite people. And these parties have been talked about for years, but mostly in like whispers and rumors, and now they're getting more attention. And these are not normal parties. They are called porta potty parties. And these parties are like underground, high-paying events hosted by the men in the UAE. And women, often like influencers, models, S-workers, are flown in from all around the world, and they're being told it's a high-paying modeling gig. But then when they get there, they are subjected to extreme bodily humiliation. Now remember, this is all speculation, this is all alleged. But some of the darkest claims out there, women say that they have been strung up on hooks, like straight out of a horror movie. And then men in groups will watch and cheer, while these women are literally hanging on hooks. And then we go back to her. It's like, why hasn't she spoken out? One, probably out of fear. And two, these women are paid like astronomical amounts of money to stay silent about this. Like $500,000 just for one night to not talk about it ever again, as long as they will agree to do these like increasingly vile acts. And in some cases, a lot of cases, unfortunately, women are not fully informed of what's going on beforehand. And then they get there and they're stuck and they're like trapped and they have to do this stuff. And billionaires think they're like royalty and that the law doesn't apply to them. And either authorities are being paid off to look the other way or they're actively participating in this. So sad. And I don't mean any disrespect to anybody involved. I'm just trying to raise awareness about this because it's insane. Nobody should have to go through this. Come over here for more freaky.
It's a sad story, but it's all too common. It's been going on for at least over a decade. Once Instagram became a big deal, I've noticed it was a lot of influencers that was going to Dubai. I've heard so many stories about what this lady was sharing, and it's unfortunate, but that's why they pay so much money. To them, everything has a price.
Guys, I can't. You understand what happens when the state takes custody of babies? I've seen this so many times. I can't be that next person.
It has been reported over and over that 6 times as many children die in foster care than and placed in official safety. The child is far more likely to suffer abuse.
So you have one option at this point. You need to give him to the EMT. And you can go on your merry way with your friends and your family who's out there.
That's not merry at all.
Or I remove him from you and you go to jail. You need to make that decision. You need to make it now. Yes.
I won't let him go.
Okay. You go ahead and jump all the way for me. Okay, please let him go so he does not get hurt, okay? Come here, little buddy.
Yes, I promise I'll keep you. Okay. You promise? I promise I will take you. I let him go. I let him go.
No, she's going to jail.
I just said I couldn't, but I let him go first.
Put your hands on your back.
And he had his hands over the EMT's shoulder, like reaching out for me. They closed the ambulance door. That was the last thing I saw.
No, go in the car. In the car. It's all right. It's okay.
Cyrus.
It's okay. In the car.
No, let me say bye.
You're gonna make it worse. You're gonna make it worse. Say goodbye.
These are crimes against humanity for financial gain. Rights are removed from parents. Human rights, civil rights, and even religious rights.
But this is a level and order of magnitude in terms of wickedness right up there. Man stealing is a capital crime, meaning God says those people who kidnap or who steal other men by force are worthy of.
These parents, trapped in the system, become like refugees. They're dazed and glazed and have no one of whom to turn. They do not know what to do, and the loss of their children is devastating.
In the middle of us being good parents.
It's a shame we live in a world when people profit off such disgusting things. In my opinion, You should never separate a mother from his child unless it's under extreme scenarios like the mother is a danger to herself and the child. It's a shame that people profit all this. And maybe one day we will get lucky and those people will get in trouble for what they're doing.
What? Nina, what are you doing? I'm jumping. How did you get up there? No, baby.
They upgrade, man. Better get ready.
Yeah, I'm at this abandoned prison in Nashville, and I've been hearing voices, and I'm not sure if it's real or not. Oh my god.
You from the dead can?
Do you think that's real? This is the second video I've seen about key energy since YouTube. The other dude, he was igniting newspaper with fire. My question is, the reason why a lot of people don't know it or be able to do it is because they don't tell anybody about it. Apparently it's a very well kept secret, if that was possible. I'm very skeptical about it though. Really brings back childhood fear, doesn't it? We used to always run up the steps and hurry up and shut the basement door because the lights was out. That means you wasn't safe.
他房子就跑过了，肯定是我婆把那个车燃爆了。
哦，这把车子直接翻了喽！你看嘛，车子刚才翻车，风大的巴子。看嘛。
Me too. I'm glad nobody got hurt.
我操！发这放火盆嘛大的，然后马上就跑了。他放我就跑了，肯定是我婆把那个车燃爆了。
While driving through a forest in Hertfordshire, an entity in a white dress runs alongside the car, keeping up with the car's speed, and even surpassing it at times. The spirit runs through the forest, with such ease it's hard to fathom, as a human could never run through the brush and debris on a forest floor. At this speed, it's simply impossible. Watch this. Follow me for your dose of nightmare fuel.
I'm in the cockpit of a plane. This is getting brighter outside the plane.
And then it turns.
When is it turning?
And it stops, and then
wait.
Then it stops position, and then it goes away.
What is that?
And then there's two more.
Where?
Right below it.
Yeah, right there. Where? Point to where there's another one. Oh, and now there's two more. So what is this?
I don't know, man.
Look at it. Bright, throbbing, and then wait, and then it went away.
Showing content like this, I make videos like this several times out of the week. It'll be so cool if you hit the sub button and join me on my next video.
There's a local Samusha pit coming for a stroll through town. There's the hippopotamus. There's the hippos just taking a stroll through town.
He was very brave for recording those hippos walking out the street like that. He has to know that those things are man-eaters. I mean, they will eat anything just because it's near them. So, to me, he's crazy.
One of the cabin doors was open, but when she looks inside, she sees this. User Dualupe was staying at a cabin for her sister's birthday when she notices a cabin that seemingly looks abandoned with the door left open, so she decides to investigate.
Casita del árbol, así como para niños, no sé por qué se ve muy tenebroso. No sé si se vaya a caer esto porque está como podrido. Y no veo como para encender las luces ni nada. Mira, allá está la cabaña. Y no tiene luz. Hay como una mesa, ganchitos de ropa y televisor.
Lupe screams in terror as someone or something inside the cabin suddenly shuts the door, but she didn't notice when she got closer. Whoever or whatever this is can be seen quickly moving behind the door. Lupe runs for her life.
Wow, I'm quite speechless about that. These people are so brave to just be going in a place they have no business to go in. Obviously, two things happened there. One, that was a setup trying to get you to get in there, or two, they didn't want you in there, and maybe it was like a squatter or something. But regardless, that is terrifying.
Oh my God! What the fuck? What is it doing?
No,
I
I'm recording it.
I can't do it.
They flying around. There's two lines now.
Oh, it's flying around it. It's flying around it.
There's two lines now.
It's so many of them.
My heart is beating.
Okay, hold on. Okay, let me get off here.
My heart coming out my chest right now, bro. Look, my heart coming out my chest right now.
Y'all, I got real alien activity going on. They circling. That it came out of the ocean. That is not a moon, and it is not a sun. It's 10 o'clock at night. I seen it come out of the ocean, y'all. There are fucking ships. I don't know what the fuck these are. They're flying around it. They're circling it. There's one above it. There's one on each side of it. There's one right there. There's one right there. Y'all can't see them. I don't know if y'all see them blinking. Do you see them? Okay, they're going towards that. We seen it come out of the fucking sea. We seen
people touching shit they shouldn't.
Say, do you love
me, I tell her only partly.
Made by Toys R Us back in 2008. The board came with a carrying case, making it perfect for sleepovers, parties, the usual. What's better than a pillow fight? Summoning demons.
What the hell? What the fuck?
Found this crispy fucking thing in the yard. What is that? Is that a fucking squirrel?
This person said, bro, he's watching you. Every single time I've been going live, I'll be getting comments like this one saying, oh, he's creeping up towards you, and you guys have been believing it. Stop believing these people trying to troll you guys. Art stands right here the entire time, and he doesn't move. Do y'all think I would really have someone stand right here for 3 hours on stream not moving the entire time? What? People have been saying, let your brother out the costume, or there's someone behind him. The only thing behind him is a light bar. And that light bar, just to make sure y'all can see that it's a light bar, there you go. You guys have been lying, trying to troll me and scare me, and it's not gonna work. But anyways, if you see that profile picture glowing red, that means I'm live right now. Click that button and join the live. Also, if you're still watching this far into the video, drop a like.
I don't know, to me, it was moving. His eyes moved. I don't know if it was an illusion. Let me know what you think, but I mean, it's possible we could have somebody sitting there, standing there for 3 hours. I've seen streamers do crazier things before. Regardless, I think the setup's pretty nice, but art or whatever, I never watched the movie before. They do like his eyes moving. I wouldn't be surprised in the stream if it is somebody in it, the person just slowly start moving to freak the audience. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Grandma has caught something quite terrifying in her granddaughter's room. Tori McKenzie is begging for help online after capturing what she describes as a demon standing over her grandchild's bed. Miss McKenzie set up a motion-activated camera at her son's house after complaints his 2-year-old daughter Amber was talking to something unseen in the middle of the night. The grandma checked her camera's app days later to find a bone-chilling image of a figure standing very close to her sleeping grandchildren, with what she described as it having a horn on its head and long claws. The creature is captured standing awkwardly, looking upwards just before 3 a.m. Miss McKenzie says when she tried to rid the house of the evil presence by burning oils, she claimed cabinets and curtains opened and closed and music began to play by itself. The grandmother insists the discovery has left her fearing for her grandchildren's lives and that the photo is real and could not be photoshopped because she does not have the technical know-how to change the image.
I'm guessing this is supposed to be an artificial sun, which is wow. Because that's what it looked like to me, right?
你听说了吗？中国人造太阳计划重新进展。近日，8分之1真空室成功研制，这一消息让整个科学界都沸腾。2025年3月9日，中国科学院合肥物质科学研究院其大科学团队在聚变硅体及关键系统研发上取得了重大进展。他们成功研制出的光场外形类似巨型橘子，名为8分之1真空室及总体安装系统。这个庞然大物的高度达到了20米，重量更是惊人，足
friends are goofing off inside an indoor playground at a time when no one else is around.
Shot me 3 times. Okay, where'd you go?
It's late at night, and the restaurant where the kids' play area is located isn't being occupied by children. So, with not much else to do, both friends rush over to the restaurant's playground to have some fun. However, it would be during this playful moment that something pretty creepy is caught on camera. The following is what they caught. Take a look.
Jesus. Okay, this is my POV. Enjoy. This is where I have to get up to. This is really hard. I feel too big to do this. Do you go outside of Brandon's body? Yeah. Wait, where'd you go, left or right? I went left. Which way do I go? I feel like I'm in Alice in Wonderland. Okay, she went that way. Freaky. Yours is brighter, mine's all dark. Okay. You guys, I can't do this. I feel like I keep bumping my head too. That's crazy. There's like actually this is literally for human hamsters. Oh my god, someone bashed in this window. I feel like this is...
Neither friend had realized what was caught until much later, and the one recording this didn't hear anything while taking the video. The only voice heard was her friend's, who was somewhere far off in the jungle gym. The other voice was completely missed, but not by the camera's mic, as apparently a child's voice is captured.
Yours is brighter, mine's all dark.
It isn't clear as to what's being said or whispered, but it sounds like the babbling noise you'd hear from a young child. For this reason, viewers think that this might have been the ghost of a child who hasn't left the playground. If that's the case, then who knows what else happens at night when no one else is around. While it isn't exactly certain what was caught, both friends were creeped out by this clip. But unfortunately, like most videos, this one remains a mystery.
My question is, do you think that ghosts, when you pass away or whatever, and if you don't go to the other side for whatever reason, maybe you got a lot of attachment here, so you decide to stay here, do you think that's all on the same dimension? Or do you think that ghosts and other entities are on another dimension and we're just seeing like fragments of it? Or even the third one, it could just be like I want to say like a time loop that is like it's just happening over and over again, even though that person isn't there anymore. It's like memories of that past or something like that. I always wondered that about ghosts, but I'm sure somebody in the comments will let me know, because I am curious.
Casanet went to Playboy Cardi's Rolling Loud performance, and he found out just how demonic shit really get. If I was Kai in that situation, and I seen what I seen from one of Playboy Cardi mans, I'm walking off the set. I don't give a fuck about no VIP. You and everybody else there that was on that Rolling Loud set was welcomed into that ritual. They even had to stop the set midway through because they said 10 people passed out. Look, y'all. People still don't understand. So as you heard, 10 people had passed out in the crowd during his set. I do not know if anybody had passed away, but that's crazy, y'all. This is the dude I'm talking about, though. Look at this. Look at this man, y'all. Watch what he throw up. He praising him right in front of everybody's face. Watch Kai. I'm telling y'all, this is what his music is about. It looked like hell on stage. I don't know what to tell y'all. That is not hip hop. That's scream hop. That's emo music. And I'm kind of upset at Kai. If you can make that face with your eyes big like this, and you like, what the f is going on? Why would you still get on stage? You have the motion. You don't need that kind of motion. That shit turned that boy into an animal on stage. He ripped his tank top and everything, not knowing that that music is the reason why he was acting like that. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this down below in the comments.
I don't think Kai's like a bad person or anything. I don't watch his streams. I think I maybe came across him once. But he, from what I've seen of the videos, clips of him, he seemed like he actually is a genuine good person that has good faith. But it seemed like he kind of at a crossroad where he need to make a decision if he's gonna sell whatever to reach new heights, which I don't think is even, I don't know why he would do that. But he surrounds so many questionable people that are into weird things. I feel like he's at a crossroad. Either he continues just to be a regular streamer and keep making his money. You know, I know he has a whole team behind him, which to me is just mind blowing. You know, I thought streams was just you playing games or talking, and it's just you, and that's it. I think it's just crazy when it goes corporate. It's like to me, it seems like it's corporate. But yeah, it seems like he's at a crossroad. He need to make a decision if he's going to keep being around these weirdos. And I always thought Playboy Cardi was super duper weird. I've never listened to his music or anything, but when I just see him and the way he acts, he just something off about that guy.
Make sure you like, comment, and share.
What is that odd looking thing in the middle? I'm assuming that's like a reflection or something. It looks like a floating egg.
That's a little disconcerting. That thing is huge. Imagine trying to run away from that. No thanks, Jurassic Park.
Not everybody you meet is a human being. Watch this.
I don't know who's gonna get this, but one day, me and my homie, we was in the car and we was just talking about being spiritual beings, right? And how on the other side of this 3D, like in the different dimensions, how we're beings of light, right? And I was telling him how I was able to discern like different people. I don't know how I'm able to do it, but I can just like see somebody and know that they're not a person. I don't know. But nonetheless, we were in the car, we were at the park, we was talking, right? And I was telling him how I can see, or I can tell when people aren't really like people. At this same exact time, there was this lady that was walking by, or she was walking towards like the car, right? No, she wasn't walking towards the car, but she was walking, mind you, it's a park, so she was walking her dog. And as I'm telling him this, right, she comes and approaches the car, like she approaches the window, and she says, "Hey, what are you guys listening to?" Mind you, we were listening to music, we were just chilling in the car. This older white lady, she doesn't, I don't know who she is, right? But I'm telling bruh at this same time that I'm able to see or able to recognize demons or people that are not human. And then she walks up to the car. We tell her like, it was just a random song or whatever, but she says, "Oh, okay." And then she walks off and continues her walk down. I said, "Bruh, that was one of them." Legit. I said, "Bruh, that was one of them." And I kid you not, bruh, I felt like the tears in my eyes because I had no other explanation, but I knew that she knew that I knew.
Let me know what you think in the comments. As always, thank you for watching. Stay weird.
I was gonna say I thought this was AI first, but now they're actually going into the cave. I don't know. Probably is man-made. I don't think that's petrified though.
Let me tell you a true story. Be simple and watch this video to the end. What in the world is this? This video is for entertainment purposes only. This. What is that? Do you see that eye? What in the world is that? What is it? I'm tired of this, guys. What is this? What is that? Huh? Did you see that eye? What was that? You got the answers? Can somebody please tell me what that is? Because I know everybody on TikTok got the answers. Stop playing with me, son. This video is for entertainment purposes only. I don't know what that was in that cave or that hole. That guy doesn't even know what it was. That's why I'm asking you, what is it? Shut up! I'm telling you, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things. Shut up! Don't say it. Just like there's a lot of things. You know what time is it, guys? Stay out of there. Stay on Earth. Stay on the ground where you belong. Because every time you want to go and experiment and see what's going on in other places, you're going to run into shit like that. Stop playing with me, son. Start a game on here, guys. You see what time is it? A lot of strange things. A lot of things that have been here before us. Or they just got here. But guess what? When they got here, you were sleeping. Stop playing with me, son. It's not a game in these streets, guys. You know what's going on out there, so you better be careful. But I tell you one thing. If I ever have a flashlight and I point into a hole and I see an eye, bro, let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
It looked like it could be a dinosaur or something. That's what it looked like to me. I know that clip kind of old, but no one really said what it was. So.
Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh.
Just another reason to not walk barefoot on the beach.
What is it?
Ryan, tell me!
What are you talking about?
Determine what states should be, quote, safe from an alien invasion. Number 1, Virginia. Number 2, Alabama. Number 3, Massachusetts. Number 4, New York. Number 5, Minnesota. Number 6, Florida. I'm so glad we're in the top 10 because honestly, I spend my nights wondering.
Don't you love how they normalize the alien invasions now? So when it does happen, it'll just be like another day. They're preparing us year after year for this.
She looks just like a dream. She looks just like a dream. Girl, you're breathtaking.
Barulho esse? Barulho. Oxi. Oh céu! Que é isso, velho?
I don't know about y'all, but I'm starting to think of this quote a lot differently.
Your vampire ball is over. Russian president to Western elites, called Golden Billion, has grown accustomed to being able to fill their bellies with human flesh and their pockets with money, as they have been parasitizing other peoples in Africa, Asia, and Latin America. But they must...
I'm gonna throw up. Papa.
Right up and look in that window.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
In a house.
That place
What?
sucks.
This is the eerie moment terrified Russians shoot at mysterious UFO helicopter darting over Moscow. The ominous drone was blasted by paranoid Russian air defenses as they suffered a separate drone strike early on Thursday. Sinister footage shows a strange rotating object spinning over the Moscow region. It has a red center and is surrounded by a spinning white circular shell. Some suspected the red and white spinning aircraft was one of Ukraine's new RZ-500 helicopter drones. However, the RZ-500 has a maximum range of 186 miles, which is not far enough to reach Moscow. What do you think the strange device is?
Do you think that there's a war going on between aliens and our planet right now? There's way too much going on right now with us seeing drones, UAPs, and now that.
Watch the terrifying moment a driver plunged a staggering 40-foot head-first off an unfinished bridge after following Google Maps on his phone. CCTV footage shows the BMW flying over the bridge, slamming bumper first onto the pavement and nearly flipping into oncoming cars. The shocking crash happened in Indonesia when a 61-year-old man took the wrong turn while following Google Maps and flew through a gap in the concrete barriers. Medics arrived at the scene and both the driver and his passenger miraculously survived the crash. The driver told reporters, "The road suddenly became dark and there were no other cars. Then I realized there was a problem when the car started falling and crashed on the ground. My friend said she's not getting in the car with me again."
I'm talking to people at the moment, and this is creepy, but people at the moment who are contacting me, and I've had 3 do it now from all over the world, who say they've felt an urge to contact me, and they tell me that they've communicated with a blue being that has imbued them and downloaded them with information. And in one case, the person developed an ability to instantaneously understand physics equations, highly complex mathematics. And I've seen them do it.
What in the hell is that? Did you see that? Dude, oh my god! Oh my god, it just went straight to the water. It goes left. Oh my god. It goes left. Hold on. Where'd it go? I still see it rolling in the water. It's going left. I've heard. What in the hell is that? You see that? Dude! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Isn't this amazing? I've been here for 2 hours playing with water and asking questions, and I'm still confused. That's water pearl. There's a basin at the bottom. It pumps water up through hoses at the back, nozzles at the top, create these pearls of water. A specified light system perfectly calibrated with the motion of the water to create these pearls that are floating, now suspended, now moving down. You see that? That's real. Those shadows are real. My hand is on the other side of those shadows. Look at that. Apparently the creator got the idea from watering his garden. So it went from watering his garden to me having an absolute existential crisis right now. I can just sit here all day, which I have been, playing with water. If you look at my hand, you can see this. You can't see anything between each pearl of water in my hand. The team here at Water Pearl in Tokyo, Japan is creating magic for the future. Now, excuse me while I continue to play with my water.
I'll imagine it's still moving at normal speed. It's an illusion to make it look like that. I guess that's what he's trying to say. But regardless, it's mind blowing. I can see why he's sitting there playing with it for hours.
Cat Williams, you betrayed us. Remember, it all started when you was exposing the industry on the Shay Show, and when you was doing comedy, always exposing the truth. But what I want to know is, what is this? Huh? Now you went from exposing the industry to working with the industry. I'm confused. This was for GQ. What is this, bro? And I know what that chain means. People are saying that Cat Williams is a warlock. But to be honest with you, I don't believe that at all. Out of all the outfits you could have wore, why this one? Why this one? What's up with that hat? What is going on here, Cat? I thought you was on our side. I thought you was here to wake people up. But it seems like you went back to sleep. Now, I got no problems with Cat Williams. I'm not here to discredit him or anything. He's a funny person. He's a great comedian. But I'm don't like when people switch sides without ordering an extra side of fries. What I want to know is why would the industry want to work with somebody exposing the industry? Something's going on here, guys. People are saying that he's a control opposition. People are saying that. I didn't say nothing, but I just think that he's just playing his position. Shh, shut up! This video is for entertainment purposes only. I like Cat Williams. I'm just trying to understand why did he switch up on us so fast. I don't know, guys. Let me know what you think. I'm out of here.
Maybe it really is just that simple. He knew people would talk about it, so he did it. Could be that simple. Maybe he do work for somebody, or it's just what I just said, that he just wanted clicks, views, etc., like most people. This bear is really mad, or it has rabies, I guess. I've never seen a bear this aggressive before, ever. Hard to tell what's real nowadays, considering AI.
What did you do?
Oh, this is literally shining in my bedroom window. Am I the only one that see this? Yo, am I the only one that see this? I just finished praying and I look out my window and this is what I see. I've never seen it like this before. This is nutty. Y'all look at that. This is great. Do y'all see what I see?
And like the whole neighborhood could be blessed and maybe her prayers will be answered.
Y'all seen the video of the lady who found that there's a secret house under her house in her basement? And that's not even the catch. The catch is, since she's moved in, she's been smelling like something rotten in her house. And she's been cleaning, fabulosoing, putting stuff down the drain, everything trying to get the smell out. Nothing was working. So then she got some plumbers in, and the plumbers found like a secret entrance behind two walls. Like the wall was set up so you couldn't go through it. And they found out there's a whole house in her basement under her house. And what's even crazier, they found human remains in that secret house. Windows boarded up, everything. And the landlord, when she spoke to the landlord said, "Oh, I have no idea." What do you mean you have no idea that was there? So now it's being investigated as a crime scene, because when she went in there, what she saw, she was like, nah, this doesn't look like it was natural. Like, she's saying she's seen claw marks and all of that on the carpet and stuff. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm moving out. I'm moving out.
Man, this isn't the first time we've seen something like this on the channel. It seemed pretty common on TikTok. It could be that maybe the landlord really didn't know. If that happened a long time ago, and it makes you wonder what other houses, civilizations, tunnels, or anything like that could be beneath us right now as we speak, and we just don't know about.
You're telling me a whole tech executive, his wife, his 3 kids, all unalived in this helicopter because the pilot decided to take off and didn't have any fuel? They said the pilot said that they were running out of fuel. Come on now. How did that even happen? Something's not adding up. The guy who was unalived on this helicopter wasn't just a random guy, y'all. His name was Augustine Escobar. He was the CEO of Siemens Spain. That's a major international tech company. It's crazy. They had just landed in New York from Barcelona that morning, and later on in the day was unalived from a helicopter. I'd have fueled my ass. How do you fly a whole tourist helicopter over the Hudson River and not know that you were out of fuel? Make it make sense, y'all. Please make it make sense. They didn't have no emergency route. They didn't have no emergency landing. They don't check shit like that before they even take off. Now here's the kicker. The people who were eyewitness that said they seen the whole thing said that the helicopter just broke into pieces in mid-air, y'all. They said they heard like a sonic boom. That don't sound like a crash to me. That sound like something hit it or something malfunctioned. Like, how do that even happen? Now, I know helicopters, planes, anything can malfunction, but not out the random. That's why you got routine inspections. So if this thing was at the point of just crumbling like that in midair, how was it even eligible to take off? How was it even eligible for people to get on that jump? So that's not making sense to me, y'all. I'm not saying it's a setup. I'm just saying powerful people seem to disappear or get caught up in situations like this a lot. The history goes deep. Somebody knows something, or I don't know, y'all. Y'all let me know down below in the comments. This shit crazy.
It's pretty obvious that it probably was a setup. Hopefully that wasn't the case, and hopefully it was just a random coincidence. When you know anything about this channel and the videos I feature, it's rarely a coincidence. I think it was like a setup personally, but because it just don't make sense. How can you be a CEO? You're worth millions, billions of dollars, and the pilot you have didn't check for fuel? I don't know. Me personally, if I was a CEO, I was that rich, I probably would have private everything. So the person would be private. I would have already vetted him. I would have known him already. But messing around with stuff like this, you're going to have a bunch of CEOs going to start having a bunch of bodyguards with them now, like how streamers and everybody else, the celebrities be when they go out in public.
Are they using Indeed to traffic people? Indeed, the app that you're supposed to be using to look for a job. People are literally coming up missing. So I came across this story here regarding some situations that's going on in Florida. I don't know if it's happening in other cities. I have never heard of this. Where people are looking for jobs, going to these places where they think the interview is at, and coming up missing. Somebody pull the plug on CERN. Like, pull the plug. Pull the plug, because there are definitely some dark, evil entities that are among us. To play with a person at their most vulnerable time, when they are looking for a job. Never mind the fact that people have been looking for jobs, ain't been having no luck. People have already been saying that Indeed ain't worth 2 dead flies smashed. Now they gotta worry about the fact that when they actually get a call back, get dressed up and go, and thinking that they about to get a job to provide for themselves, only for them to possibly get snatched up. If you got a job right now, stop complaining about it, okay? Be grateful, be thankful, because it is definitely something really, really nasty going on out here. There's always been danger going on in the country. You a motherfucking lie if you don't tell me that a lot of this shit ain't really start getting worse over the last 4 or 5 years. And it's a damn shame that American citizens who may be needing assistance with getting a job and using a trusted site to find one can't even trust the damn site no more. Unplug CERN, unplug Indeed, unplug all of this shit. Matter of fact, just start the whole world over. Because at this point, we are sliding down a razor blade and landing in an alcohol river.
Indeed. I mean, if anybody ever actually got a job on Indeed, I know I haven't like that. Maybe one ever since it came out. And some people be so desperate and be so naive when it comes to interviews, and they see it to be like 7 p.m. and then they'll go to the interview and something like that could happen. I'm assuming that's how that went down, but I really wish we would go back to the older ways, like when I was getting out of high school, where you kind of would just go to the business, talk to the manager, and it was so much easier to get a job. Now with the internet, it's really hard. Now with AI, you have to use AI to go past the AI system, to go past the AI interview, to get a real interview. And then you got to go through 4 interviews. I remember when I was in IT, I had to go through online tests, another personality test, then another on the phone test about what I really know about IT, then an in-person interview, but it ain't just one person. It'd be the CEO, CFO, CTO, and then after all that, which was 3 hours, by the way, I had to go around and meet all the staff, like the big people like HR, to see if I was a good fit. I got the job, but I mean, like, just imagine if I didn't. And people go through that all the time. So, man, job hunting is crazy right now. Like, I feel like it's only going to get worse. They need to figure something out, but they really need to be a more trusted site than Indeed.
Cult of the Black Cube, better known as the Saturn Death Cult. The global elite worships the dark side of the planet Saturn and uses occult symbols in modern institutions, and it's been going on since creation. Basically started with the fallen angels, and it all revolves around the god Saturn. But this god Saturn is also the god Baal, the god Molech,
Oh gosh.
and is prevalent in basically every ancient and modern satanic.
Saturn is Satan.
They think it translates from Satan. The astrology Capricorn, which is the primary thing, and that is Saturn, which is a goat. The black cube, I'm like, where's the black cube coming into this? There's like this dark spot on the top of Saturn that is in the shape of a hexagon. And if you take the hexagon and you make it a 3-dimensional, it makes a cube. What was crazy is that if you go to basically any major financial district, they all have a monument of a black cube.
No way.
They believe that worship of it is that they're able to tap into this realm or this deity to be able to enslave the masses.
Oh my god, oh my god, look you guys.
I'll have to look deep into the volcanoes. I wasn't aware it was 4 being that are active right now, let alone erupting. Let me know in the comments if that's true or not. As far as the other video, the black cube, I could see Saturn being a part of that. Because Jupiter, if I'm not mistaken, is about acquiring wealth and health and things like that. I think definitely for wealth, if I'm not mistaken. But Jupiter, I thought was like discipline. I guess it would be controlling masses, because it is like a discipline-controlled planet when it comes to, at least from what I know of astrology and stuff. I'm no expert of it. I think that goes very far back. And it is very weird that a lot of financial police have, and they do control the masses, don't they? They give us enough money for us to barely survive, but not so little that we all would band together, go to DC or whatever, and start some stuff, if you know what I mean. They give you just enough. It's like, imagine you being in water and you're like, it's like right here. For most people, obviously some people it's all the way up here. But for the average middle class person, it's like right just enough for you not to get angry enough. Because you know, once the food becomes a problem, you know anything about history, that's when the people at the top start to, once food becomes a problem for the common